What's up guys, welcome back to another video. Today I wanted to do a workout that's going to help you guys with your longboarding. Now if you know me, you know I am obsessed with longboarding. I have like 4 different boards that I've talked myself into buying, and like $1,000 later, I do not regret it at all. I would do it all again tomorrow, but my bank account says differently. But anyway, so today's workout is about longboarding. And the one thing about longboarding is I do it all the time, but I'm always so freaking sore the next day. And I'd like to think I'm in pretty good shape, but my longboards don't agree with me. So longboarding is actually a really good workout. Surprisingly, you get every single muscle involved when you're on your board. So obviously it's gonna really target the lower body and the core, but upper body is also very important to train in case you fall. You wanna have a strong upper body so you don't hurt yourself when you fall, because resistance training is going to help strengthen your bones and help your tissue connectivity. So super important to work the upper body. But we're going to be focusing on lower body and the core today. I'm going to get into what we're going to do, but real quickly, please give the video a thumbs up and please subscribe to the channel. I'm really trying to push my content and give a lot of workouts for you guys to help you out with an array of different hobbies you might be doing, sports you might be doing. So I would really appreciate the sub. So please click that button below. But all right, back to the workout. So what we're going to be focusing on, like I said, is core and lower body, so our legs. The core, the aspect of the core that's used in longboarding is really rotational. So we know that the core has 3 functions: flexion, extension, and rotational movement. So what we're going to be focusing on, like I said, is rotational, because when we're turning, a lot of that is initiated through obviously our upper body, our head and our shoulders, but following through with the core. And it's really important in that stabilizing factor, because if you don't have stabilization in your core, you're going to go down. And when I say down, I mean fall. I don't mean downhill. So you're gonna fall. So we gotta work stabilization and rotation through the trunk. The next things we gotta work on. The next things we gotta work on is obviously our legs. So our quads are super important when we're down there longboarding. This is not my longboarding stance, but this is what I'm doing now. For our longboarding, you really gotta keep your quads engaged. So obviously it's a lower leg dominant movement. So we got to keep our quads engaged. When you're going down, it's obviously a lot of quads. When you come back up, you're driving through your quads as well. Unless you fall, then you're not going to be needing to drive through your legs. I don't know why I'm talking about falling a lot. I just happen to fall when I do a lot of things. So the next part we're going to talk about is our lower legs. So I'm talking our calves and our anterior tibs. So when we're turning, if we're turning, I ride with my right leg forward. So if I'm turning to my left, you obviously need to go up on your toes to really get that sharp turn. So when you're doing that, you put a lot of stress on your calves, and when you're turning backwards, you have to go a little bit on your heels, so you're utilizing your anterior tibs. So we're gonna get those involved. And lastly, the big mamas of the leg are glutes. Our glutes are so important. Obviously, the first thing that's gonna come to mind is when you are pushing. So I push with my left leg. So this whole motion right here, that extension and flexion of the hip, this right here of the pushing, that is driven by our glutes. Obviously, we're gonna use our calves as well, but the glutes play the dominant role in that movement. So it's not just my left glute that's doing a lot of the work. My right glute is actually working probably a little bit more than my left glute, because I'm having to stabilize this leg so it doesn't go all wonky. I'm having to stabilize through my glute by squeezing my ass and then pushing here as well. So you're really getting all your muscles engaged when you do this workout. I'm just like waiting to watch this back and just be like, oh my God, no wonder I'm single. But anyway, so what, I don't even know what I was saying, but we're gonna get into this workout. Please subscribe to the channel, because as you can tell, I'm freaking desperate. Okay, here we go. All right, so the first thing we're gonna start with, if you've watched any of my other workout videos, you know I always begin with activation and mobilization. So it's super important to get our body moving, get our joints warmed up before we start this workout, and also activate the prime muscles that we're gonna be targeting during the workout, so they're firing at a good rate when we actually start, instead of them just trying to like get warmed up. So first thing we're gonna do is the world's greatest stretch, 3-way lunge, and pogo jumps to really warm up our, what are these called? Ankles. All right, here we go. I'm jumping off the balls of my feet, so by my toes, but as you can tell, when I land, I let my heel hit the ground just so I can get that full range of motion, really warm up my ankle, having to like explode up, land, explode up. So just food for thought when you're doing those. The next couple of things we're gonna do still is activation and mobilization, but we're gonna start targeting the glutes. So we're gonna do some fire hydrants with a mini resistance band to start activating the glutes. And then we're gonna do some plyometric bounding to kind of get our central nervous system firing up and really have to lock in that glute engagement and start working on stabilization.
So here we go.
Lateral shuffle bound thing I just did, you really want to drive off of the back leg, keeping your front leg within hip width. So I'm not like out here reaching this way. I'm keeping it really close to my body and pushing off the back leg like so. I'm not reaching with that front leg. It's obviously going to go out a little bit because biomechanics, but do your best to keep it close and just drive off the back leg. This workout is going to be more along the lines of power, especially trying to focus on horizontal force production. So this is important when you're trying to propel yourself going forward, that pushing phase and extension through the hips. That's a huge movement in longboarding. So we're going to do some exercises to really work on developing and generating more lower body power through our hips. So the two things we're gonna do, number one is going to be a med ball broad jump toss to a double broad jump. Sounds a little confusing, I'm gonna show you guys in one sec. And the second thing we're gonna do is a straight up med ball squat toss. So that's more along the lines of vertical force production, but it's very important and it's translated very well into horizontal force production through many different research studies. So we're gonna hit those two right now. Now we're going to move on to some strength training, and to do that we're going to be doing a back squat. Now I'm at my house, so I don't have a squat rack available, so I'm just going to be using dumbbells. But if you have a squat rack or a barbell available, then 100% you're going to want to do a back squat, just because it's the best at getting your entire lower body involved and really working on that posterior chain. We're going to be doing this back squat at a tempo of 0 to 0. So what that means is at the bottom of your squat, you want to hold that isometric hold for 2 seconds. And the reason that I'm having you do this is because it mimics the longboarding motion. When you squat low, you often hold that for a couple of seconds rather than just squatting and getting back up. So if we can work to increase time under tension in the gym with added resistance, then it's going to make it a whole hell of a lot easier when you're longboarding, trying to fight against other things that might throw you off. Like I said, pretend I'm doing a barbell back squat. So the second to last part of this workout is going to be focused on unilateral training. You want to make sure you're incorporating this unilateral training into your workout, because a lot of what you do on a longboard is going to be just on one leg at a time. Whether you're balancing on one leg, pushing off the other, you're going to generate a lot of imbalances, just the nature of the sport. So we're going to do some unilateral training to work on those asymmetries, and it also is a great way to increase stability and balance. I'll just say what we're doing. The first thing we're going to do is a single leg RDL. Like I said, we're focusing a lot on that hip extension, the glutes, the hamstrings, so single leg RDL. And the second thing we're going to do is an offset reverse lunge. So this is awesome for maximal glute engagement and core engagement, because what we're going to be doing is holding a weight in the opposite hand to leg that's going down like this. So in this position, you really have to fire through your glute to keep that stability and through your core so you don't let the dumbbell pull you down. So here we go. reverse lunge. The cool thing about this movement is you can really load it up and go heavy. I'm limited in the amount I can go because of what I have available at my house, but you can go pretty heavy with that motion as long as it doesn't make your technique poor. All right, so final 3 exercises for the workout today. We're gonna be doing 1 hip extension exercise and 2 core stabilization exercises. So the first one, we're going to be doing a top speed strike step. So basically we're gonna be attaching a resistance band to some higher surface, putting our leg up here and really working on that strike down. That's gonna be that triple extension, the hip, the knee, the ankle, and that's going to help when we're pushing as well on the longboard. The second 2 is gonna be some core stabilization. And what we're gonna be focusing on, like I said at the very beginning, the core does 3 things: flexion, extension, and rotation. And we're gonna be focusing rotation. So another way to focus on rotation without actually rotating is by doing anti-rotational movements. So what we're gonna be doing here is involving the resistance band, and it's gonna be stabilization through the core, preventing us from rotating in the direction of the resistance band. And then the last one is gonna be your good old wood choppers. So those are awesome at oblique engagement, turning through the trunk, which we have to do a lot on the longboard, which initiates movement as we turn the trunk. So final 3, let's go. So with this top speed strike step, you really wanna focus on, like I said, the triple extension and getting that foot back behind the other one. Not like that, but like back behind, because that's going to be the greatest way to produce force, that angle with our leg straight. So it's gonna help when we're longboarding. Alrighty guys, there you have it. There is a workout to help you with your longboarding. So I hope you found this helpful. Hopefully you enjoyed. Please subscribe, please give the video a thumbs up, and keep checking back in. I got a lot more stuff coming that I really do think you guys are gonna enjoy. So I'll see you in the next one.